just looks clean. Were the stuns on Radiant? No, I don't think so. How can you get active early on though? Okay, so how do you punish the greed from Team Zero?
I mean, you got a Visage, right? You sure you don't have armor corruption, but you still have familiars to be able to take towers. Razor as well, like a successful team fight with a very juicy static link will lead to a lot of damage that you can use to, again, right-click towers. Slark, if you're able to play aggressively, you can get a lot of those essence shift stacks and really ball out of control early on. There's options. And again, Marblue played quite well on his Invoker in game number 1.
Nice flame break.
Early first blood would be nice, but yeah, like you mentioned, Ice on point again. He really hasn't had a bad game so far, these qualifiers. They're going to use a second blood grenade just to be able to secure this last... Oh, thankfully, it is going to be Cicada getting it instead of TZ. Tried to yoink it away with that last right click there.
No, I agree as well. Ice has had a very good qualifier so far, even in those losing games versus Aster yesterday. So see if he's going to be able to continue that. But again, well, it was a good start last game, but an even better start now that Cicada is going to have the first blood. And like we were saying, I mean, without a doubt, this is going to be a very, very Razor favored mid lane. So we'll just see how much he's going to be able to use that advantage into the early game, because you're saying that you feel like Radiant, they actually do have the capabilities to punish some of the maybe greediness out of Dial.
It's possible. I just don't know if it's going to happen, if that makes sense, right? Like, they've got the tools to be able to do it, but we've seen in the past, like, they've had the tools to be able to take one more fight and then they just GG out as well, right? It's just left up to them. Do they have the decision-making and the cool, calm collectiveness to be able to actually say, you know what, this is where we can potentially hit one of these peak timings. This is where we can punish a Faceless Void TA draft. I think they've got the stuff to be able to do it. It's just a matter of putting it into practice.
Okay, what again, like we're saying, we know mid's going to go well for Cicada, but what else needs to align for them? Are you looking for, an early vessel out of Marblue? Are you looking for some early timings out of CSJ? Like, list some things that we feel like needs to go right for Big Brain early to help them play aggressive.
I think they need to try and consistently kill this Disruptor in the lane. I think they've got the tools to be able to do it with the Grave Chill and the Soul Assumption, which would lead Marblue to having that early earn. You can already see, like, his positioning is basically to bait out a bunch of these spells while still having the safety of being able to play inside of the tree line, so he's not actually taking too much damage off the back of it all. And you can just see, like, when they don't have these spells up and available, CTY looks to get aggressive. He doesn't want his Disruptor to have too rough of a time in the lane. Also just make space for them to be able to get another D-ward off for this small camp. So ZZQ, he's given up first blood twice now, but his laning is certainly quite solid.
Meanwhile, on our opposite side of the map, does look like this lane, like you were saying, is going much better here for God King to be able to start as well. So only level 1 for the boys on Team Zero. Now going to be able to pick up their level 2 to work with. So we'll see with the Firefly and now the Cinderbrew on if they want to get aggressive, because this is very similar to top if the Disruptor's caught out of place. Meanwhile, the Silence as well. We're just going to see prime example. If you are caught out of position, Team Zero, they're going to be able to capitalize and get those kills.
It sucks, but I think it's going to need to be one of those lanes where TZ just offers his life up a lot of the time. Like, he needs to just soak up a lot of this threat so that God King is able to farm. Right now, he's only got the treads coming through to him, so I'm sure he's saying over to the Silencer, make sure you got plenty of tangos. He's got 5 in his inventory, so this is really just allowing God King to just be as greedy as possible. I want to see him go a much more fighting-oriented draft. I don't want to see any Midas Slark or anything like that. We're going to need to see power treads into either a Diffuser or an Echo Saber, and then just look to connect through with the rest of your team around the timings that you've got these familiars, around the times you've got the Urn, and around the times that the Razor with the heavy static link points are going to be very effective. Look at CTY manning up, though.
Wow. Wow. No points in the bash. Didn't need it. 1-1-1. Really nicely done from CTY, so able to get that return kill, is able to get the solo experience as well.
Man's a god laner.
That he is indeed. That he is. I mean, it was a real trendsetter as well back in the day. I mean, the really big thing I remember from him is just the, like, casual hyperstones that we saw. I mean, I know, like, Hector was a real big person that liked to go down the casual gloves, even with some like double gloves sometime. But back in the day, CTY with his very casual Hyperstone was an interesting build from him.
And with how well the bottom lane has gone, I mean, this is the downside, right, of what I was talking about before with TZ offering his life up to make sure that God King has a bit of an easier lane. It means that you've got into a nice early earn for Beyond as well. So I still feel like you're going to need a little bit of protection from Ice, but the kill threat is just even stronger there, that even a Slark isn't going to be feeling super invulnerable here. Basically, as soon as that Dark Pact is used, I feel like they could look to try and get a bit more aggressive, but no own charges just yet, so maybe they're wanting
on
to...
top lane. Well, it's back onto CSJ, and we'll keep the action going down bottom, and Slark's in some danger. Ice going to try and charge him down. Meanwhile, back to top with Go with CSJ. Well, that's going to be the person they're able to chase down and secure the kill. So once again, he put his second point up in the time lock, and when these bashes keep raining down, it's going to help guarantee the kill onto the Visage.
What's he going for? Just early Solar Crest for him. I mean, he's only level 3 right now. That's the main issue. I was about to say, you got to keep eyes on ZCQ as well, because you don't want to do the old TP into the lane and have a disruptor right there glimpse you back to base, because lane has already gone a little bit more difficult for you.
What about this mid lane though? 24 and 11 compared to the 21 and 2. I feel like this has gone much better for 70. I'm a little bit surprised that he's actually still sticking around, but I at least what I remember to the Razor TA matchup like a year ago maybe is that you're forced to go jungle at like around level 3.
I think he has taken a little bit of jungle camps. Like I think if
I haven't seen him go back once. Oh, you have? Okay, yeah. Maybe I've missed it.
It's one of those
top
things.
Lane?
He's still 400 net worth behind.
EZQ?
That's some earn charges. Nice.
Alright.
That's the sort of thing that they need to start doing, though, right? Like, you've built up CSJ to his level 4. You've got Marblu now looking to roam around, maybe yoinking away the bounty rune. Very nice. He'll be able to protect the power rune as well. Cicada should move down towards bottom, especially when they see Ice in this lane, just so that they can cover both avenues, unless they feel like they can go for a kill onto 7E. And certainly with that earn, it's a nice, easy way to be able to break a lot of those refraction charges. And well, Cicada is going to be lucky enough to be able to secure the DD for himself as well. So they're kind of approaching this scary timing for themselves, and TZ even gets the neutral creep denied, so nicely done by him. So it's a lot of much better laning phase being done by Big Brain now, right? Like, you can still see, obviously, God King, until he hits up onto that level 6, he's not going to be loving life on this bottom side, but he's getting the base level of farm that he needs. Again, the hero that I was a little bit worried about was Marblu, but speaking of him, he is in the thick of it. Although no detection.
That is in... Okay, another game where they're going to be lacking detection. They'll go for CSJ.
There you go, he's used.
CTY committed though. He was in a lot of trouble now. Moving in with the time walk. They try and get that extra TP out. It's not going to matter though.
Gets
a lot of one charges.
I was back to base as well. Oh, was it not Cicada? Yeah, you're right. It was the silencer.
So Wizard Room department looks like it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. How the stacks going as well? Ice already made a, I think, double stack at the hard and double at the ancients. Yep.
70, he's going to look to see if there's any stacks that he can look to yoink away, but not right now. I mean, Big Brain, they're focused on just lane kills, and every single time that they get one with 0 charges on that earn, Marblu is going to be back to 2. And you can see every single time as well, he's just thinking, can I make a rotation towards mid? We got the Eye of the Storm available. We've got double damage rune. We just need to break through those refraction charges as well. Another kill, unfortunately, for TZ, but it means that God King has picked up his level 6. You've got level 6 on Beyond as well, and he might be forced to waste it just to prevent dying here, but good little show up there by Ice, not leaving his core on his own.
Ooh, okay. Mid lane, we're going to have a bit of a battle for the power, and yeah, Cicada. He's got the invis to work with. Let's get the kill beforehand. Nice use of the glimpse, though. Can they go? It's a pretty good trap positioning as well. But Cicada is going to act as a huge deterrent, especially with the double damage rune for them to work with. So, like you were saying, though, I mean, this is a much better start than we're getting from the previous game from the boys on Big Brain. Now, what do we need to see them do with this start now? You know, we've got the familiars up from CSJ. You've got the medallion as well.
I mean, I think if they can get a kill and they like see the opportunity to push the tower, of course they're going to take it. But I feel like you don't necessarily need to rush this sort of thing, like because if you rush it, this is the sort of thing that can happen. I mean, Beyond's come up top. He's got the primal available. We'll be able to get a stun onto Marblue, and they're probably going to be able to connect onto multiple kills here. I think that is way too aggressive. Like they hadn't quite yet hit their timings yet. What I was about to say was you need to wait for the Solar Crest on the Visage. You need to wait for the BKB on the Razor, and then what's Slark going to have at that point? Echo Saber at least, right? That, in my opinion, is their big timing that they're going to just feel overwhelmingly strong relative to what Team Zero have. Team Zero are much more focused on these things that are going to accelerate farming, whereas Big Brain, they're going to be focused on things that allow them to fight early on, and they just didn't have those, especially when you're diving that deep under a tower.
Yeah. And it's not like you can really use the cooldowns now to your own advantage. Looking should be fine. Maybe we'll force out a Shadow Dance, which would feel pretty nice for Dire. But yeah, I mean, because you had to just use the Familiars, and now it's on cooldown for another 45 seconds. So it's not like you're going to get much value out of the Primal Split being down or the Chronosphere being down as well. So CTY will still get like another wave top, even going to drag it back with the small camp. So closing in on that Midas, and then you've got Templar Assassin as well. That's farming up some of the stacks, which is giving some solo experience to ZZQ.
Yeah. I mean, they'll get, what, 40 seconds of Familiars into the tower? But again, like you mentioned, CTY pulling that wave back means that he's going to be able to farm safely. He's going to make sure that the tower takes out one of these waves. By the time the Siege Creep wave gets there, they're going to have at least the Primal Split available. So I think they've done really well to be able to manipulate this lane so that they're not necessarily losing quite so much off the back of, this weak period, let's call it. But I think Big Brain have also seen the error of their ways, and they could say, you know what, let's just wait until we actually hit some of these timings for ourselves. Although
they will be forced to react to mid.
Yeah. ZZQ's in a good position, though. He wants to make sure he's glimpsing back whoever does show up here.
Really nice though from Team Zero, like we're saying. I mean, this is just a little bit of time wasted. It's getting that Chrono back up. It's getting that Primal Split back up. So you force reactions to the mid lane. CSJ, this is still the time to go. You got the Catapult, you got the Familiars. Let's see if they're going to try and bring some extra numbers to top just to slow this down to get the ultimates back up.
They're already using the Twin Gate up here on the Batrider just to make sure he's in the right position. Not quite yet level 6, but with one creep going down in the lane, he'll have enough to be able to do it. He wants to go for CSJ.
Mass TP's in from the boys on Dire. They'll lose Ice, but again, the ultimates are back up to work with. They've got the Static Storm as well. They're not going to need the Chrono for the kill into the Visage. They'll keep it in hand just in case Cicada wants to rotate up, and he wants nothing to do with this skirmish. As this is a big issue now, right, Deno? Because you were mentioning like a big thing for Raiden is the potential for you to take early towers off the back of the Familiars, and now this is 2 times in a row that Team Zero have been able to defend their safe lane tower.
Yeah. I mean, and they held the Chronosphere as well. They even didn't have to use the lasso for it. So that's the biggest issue for mine. And up now they've got a decent-ish wave to be able to push in with Beyond having another fantastic start. He certainly turned around his fortune after yesterday. He was... It really didn't feel like he was much of a hero yesterday. You know,
no, he's the weak point, I think.
He was the weak point by far, but he's probably been one of their strong points so far this time around. So it just goes to show how much a day can make a difference.
Nice read from ZZQ. They're not going to be able to get the glimpse back, lacking the detection, but they get the tower. They might be able to get the stack as well. I mean, this is pretty juicy for 7E.
Oh, no, you can't let this happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be the Desolator basically finished up unless CTY goes and yoinks away one creep with his Midas, which he does. Come on, it's not like you need to use it immediately, and Cicada doesn't have a BKB just yet, so he's in danger.
That he is, and they still don't have Global Silence as well. Just level 5 on the Silencer and the Invoker. So we're seeing these ultimates really start to be a huge issue for Big Brain. They're going to go from 1 kill, and a valuable kill at that considering how strong of a start Cicada has had. ZZQ does step a little bit too far over the mark. They're going to try and jump in, but he lays the Static Storm down and the Chronosphere as well. They're going to have plenty of damage to pump into the bubble. And again, it's the ultimates that are the X factor so far from Team Zero.
Honestly, when God King died there, I was like, oh, is he going to call it?
Nah, it's not that bad yet. It's not there just yet. CTY, very interesting time walk into the middle. He's going to be silenced up now for the moment, so can he get over into the low ground? He won't be able to. That is a much-needed kill for the boys on Big Brain.
Man, this is becoming a bit of a trend for Marblu. Last game, there were 16 kills that Big Brain got. He was part of 15 of them, and he's been part of every single one of their kills so far. So, I mean, the man is making the Invoker work for sure. He's clearly very comfortable on it. They're worthy of a first pick, in my opinion, just because of their ability to flex it up. I really just feel like it's the rest of the team that hasn't quite hit their timings. But now, off the back of that kill, TZ has his level 6. You've got the Global Silence. You've got the Solar Crest available. CSJ is also already one component towards the Aghanim Scepter. You have an Echo Saber up as well. It's really just waiting for this BKB. I'm not sure if you want to show up just yet, though.
They're going to global, but it's going to do nothing. No value at all with the first global silence of the game. Cicada's going to try and prove to be a bit of a nuisance onto Beyond, but they're going to step out of the range of the static link. And now Team Zero are looking for a glimpse back for the extra +1, and they're going to be able to find it onto Cicada. Second death in a row for the Razor.
He just needs his BKB, man. It's as simple as that. He just keeps joining these fights. And it's a first item BKB as well. So you don't have anything that's going to be like your farming accelerant unless you go this item. Like a lot of people go, I don't know, a casual Falcon Blade or things like that just to be able to pick things up a little bit for you. But he has nothing. It's just the treads and not much else. So I think he needs to be playing a little bit more greedy, because if you make another couple of these mistakes, then you've got the Desolator picked up on your Templar Assassin already. She's only 500 gold away from Blink.
Dude. They're not even going to stop. Onto CSJ, they've got the Primal Split to work. We've got to be cautious because the heroes are starting to come over. But to get the ultimate off, they're still going to turn to Ice Ice with Marblu and Cicada in combination together. They'll get a 1-for-1 exchange. But now CTY is going to look to get involved as well. They won't even need the Chronosphere for the kill into the Invoker, and they're able to sidestep the Static Link as well. So Cicada's damage is going to be lacking inside the team fight, as Team Zero doing such an exceptional job to dance in and out. They're looking for another kill on to TZ, but the Glimpse doesn't have the full range, but CTY ready to go with the Chronosphere, pump fakes it once. Feeling like he doesn't really have the heroes nearby to maybe pump in some of the extra damage. Maelstrom is delivered though. We'll see what the decision is going to be for Dire.
I was just about to say, I don't know if they need other heroes, if they could just use the Faceless Void with his Maelstrom to be able to secure the kills.
Ooh, nice tornado. Really good tornado. EMP to fly as well. Off to the right side though with the lasso. That's the blink reel from Ice Ice. They're going to be able to chase down Marblu. They'll also get TZ as well around the secret shop area. And look at God King too, because they have 0 stuns. God King is just chasing supports down, but he's not even going to get anyone. Team Zero, every single hero will stay alive throughout the skirmish. It's a triple kill for Ice Ice. We've been singing his praises yesterday and today, and is continuing the dominant performance on his support Batrider.
What is he gonna call it? What's going on? I mean, it's a couple of fights in a row now that really haven't worked out for Big Brain, right? The plus side is you've nearly got the Diffusal Blade. You just gotta be greedier on Cicada. Like, you need your level 12, you need your BKB, and this is without Team Zero even considering going into the Roche Pit. They finally do now that you've got the Blink Dagger up on 7E, and of course he's got the attack speed coming through from the Doors Gloves. Actually the damage, but the Desolator as well. They're going to be able to just rip this one apart. They know what's going on, but I really don't know. They're still trying to fight, man. I don't know about this.
Nice scan.
What's making you feel confident? They didn't use Chronosphere. You've got TP up on CTY. You're 300 gold away from Diffusal Blade, and you don't have your BKB still on the Razor. It just feels like you're running into a wrecking ball right now.
Well, it will be a wrecking ball. They're able to slow down. They'll get the kill on the bat, and they'll force them out of the pit.
Okay, I mean, they've got Diffusal now coming out on the Courier. Cicada.
Beyond. Oh, great timing. Tornado onto 2s. They're going to be any follow-up with the Global Silence. Meanwhile, they're able to get a double kill onto the support. So it's a 3v5 with the numbers favoring Radiant, but it might not be that way for too long, as they've isolated TZ off to the right side. 7E, with the help of CTY, is going to chase him down, and they've still got Beyond Split as well to work with. Let's see if they're going to feel like that's necessary, even if they got the damage once again. CTY hesitant, and maybe they'll just look to go back and get Roche.
We have a BKB. Let's go. We have an Atos. All right. And it's only the supports that end up dying, right? So quite quick respawn times. They only have a tier 2, though, to be able to go through to. Just wanting to keep that Chronosphere available for this impending Roche fight. Right now, they've got the vision advantage, and they got eyesight.
Oh,
to try and scout out.
A little bit awkward of a jump from my side. They're going to try and turn with the static storm. It's just a bait all along as CTY gets the Chrono off of the left side as well. It's going to hold Cicada into place, but now he's stuck inside with the Atos. A bit of an opening here for Cicada to secure the kill. They're going to lack the control as CTY is able to get some separation. Ice is in, but he's going to die in the end. Either Storm, plenty of damage. Beyond might have just buried his own grave as well. It's going to be cautious with the BKB now. Cooldown from Cicada. They're just playing their distance, poking and prodding at the Razor, recognizing that if they hold their ground, there's going to be nothing they can do, and they'll also get some more kills to be able to add to the tallies. Even TZ stepped way too far forward. Another death onto the Silencer, make it his 7th of the game, and now they can go back and very shortly reap the rewards of Roche.
I need to do it at bottom. It's been that long. It's already going to be moving down towards the bottom side of the map, but 7E does not look all that healthy either. To be able to pick up power runes, to be able to play with, though, a haste rune enabling him to get there. He'll even get a nice little bottle refill from Ice coming through. But, I mean, those long team fights, they have just been doing a phenomenal job of baiting God King into a lot of these kinetic field static storms. And we saw then a great Chronosphere catching the position 1 and 2. Even just the time walk from CTY back to the rest of the boys. They know there's no real like big AoE spells that they need to be worried about outside of the tornado, and that had been used at that time.
Back to live. Gonna have some action breaking out at 7E. We're running to CSJ. Feel like he's gonna have the damage to be able to get the kill. I mean, especially with that glimpse back Cicada. Your BKB still a cooldown for the moment. Back up in a couple of seconds. Not going to prove to be a big issue at the moment. Beyond is lacking some mana as well for the split, but it doesn't look like a further fight is going to break out unless God King has something else to say. But the Global Sun's going to try and help them get the kill on the Batrider, but God King was in two minds, wanted to try and reset. And with the Static Storm, he is protected with the ultimate. Flame Break's actually going to push him out. Still going to be cautious, though. God King running straight to 7E. Very, very messy engagement once again. He gets a lucky invis, but it's not going to matter. With a sentry already layered down, that will not be able to cover the retreat. And he's saying disrupt. I mean, dude, ZZQ is bodying the Slark inside these fights.
I mean, he's just cutting him around amazingly, right? He's got the Tumblr's toy, he's got the Force stuff to be able to play with, and even just his initial positioning, totally on point. And again, you're playing with a TA, you've got the potential to take Roshan, but what's the use? I mean, you want to make sure that you can make use out of this siege creep as much as possible. You want to cut out the areas of the map that they're able to farm with. Phenomenal job so far. Not sure what Slark's really buying. I just see a Mithril Hammer in the quick buy. Of course, Echo Saber can be disassembled, but I see no BKB recipe on the Slark purchased at this point.
Yeah, so I mean, I have to imagine that's the item, but it's going to take too long to get there. Well, it's going to, yeah, I mean, it will take too long. This game's going to be too much of a winning position for the boys on Dial. 14,000 net worth lead, 75%. They're going to be able to get Roche down at the bottom side as well.
I really want to see them spend a tiny bit of time in the neutrals on Big Brain. Like, it's 22 minutes, you've only got 3 of your tier 2 items, and you're going up against a TA. You've already got 2 Cosmic Capes. You need more. Like, you just need to make sure that you're reducing a lot of this damage that 70's pumping into you at the start of these fights, because it's just leaving you far too far behind at the very beginning. And for Pupil's Gift on God King, this is one of those instances where I wish I could see what his choices were, but for right now, he just wants the additional stats.
Is this a bit of an opening onto 7E?
I mean, he's got Aegis, and all the boys are showing up. The Rainbow TP's coming through. Cicada, do you want to be that deep? Link up in 3 on Ice.
Did they get a glimpse of him go to the north? Looks like they did in the tree line. Yeah, I mean, he'll pop a BKB, maybe hoping get the kill onto ZZQ. It'll probably force the Chrono. Never mind, because Ice is here in the nick of time. We'll stop a bigger ultimate from being used. I mean, it is 5 heroes from Team 0. I don't think it matters too much considering no one else is really farming on the other side of the map. Yes, the Silencer shoves mid, but CTY is quickly there to be able to farm that up.
I mean, that's... it's a tactical death, right? You force out, you potentially try and get the Aegis away, and either they give up the Aegis or they're forced to TP back where, you know, the Razor, let's be honest, he doesn't have a ton of net worth. He's going to be respawning soon-ish. So in the time that they're able to push the lanes back out, look to try and threaten the tier 2 or the high ground, you're still going to have your full complement of heroes to be able to do some sort of defense.
Oh man, CSJ has not had the Visage performance that they needed out of him in this game.
I mean, he's only level 17, right? Sorry, 13, right? It'll be 7 levels until he's able to hit that big power spike that they need, and Team Zero are not going to allow that, giving a Aghanim shard over to Ice as well.
No, dude, CTY is 2 Midas charges. Okay, I never thought I would see the day where 2 Midas charges are there.
He's just been so active, man. Nothing wrong with it. Really can't fault too much about CTY's gameplay so far.
Oh, I hear a lasso. You're going to be able to catch the Slark. Nice timing of the Global Silencer. Prevents that Static Storm chain control to God King.
Just looking to try and go for some sort of a wraparound, but again, it's like when he's 100 gold short of the...
70?
Decent pick.
And they're going to be able to find it. How much left? What? Oh, they didn't even kill him fast enough. And Mimo Slark in the Static Storm eats the full duration of it. We might be that territory where they're going to tap out. I mean, it is the especially with a chrono like that. CTY put him in the grave for the last time this game. They'll take the Rampage, but they will not be defeated in the end. The G's are dropped, and unfortunately for the boys on Big Brain, they will be eliminated from the TI-12 regional qualifiers.
They will.